Hey guys, how's it going out there? I wanted to talk a little bit about mortgage rates today because I saw a headline in the Wall Street Journal. And of course, you'll see this headline in whatever news sources you look at. Mortgage rates hit 5.89%, highest level since 2008. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of my perspective on this, especially to buyers or sellers who are thinking about moving up and or going from one house to another, and so they're going to be selling and buying. Don't be scared by the media headlines. The media is doing its job in a certain way, and they're not wrong with what they're saying. But here's what's missing and what's not in that headline. It is so important if you're thinking about buying a house that you talk to a mortgage professional. They are my best friends in this business, literally and figuratively. And our team, between Sherilyn and I and the wonderful realtors on the Vaz+Harwood team, we know the best mortgage people working in this market. They're honest, they are helpful, they're strategic, and they just help our customers to figure out what's going to work for them. And kind of like us, they're not here to like twist your arm to buy a house or try to talk you into some mortgage product. Just like I'm not here to try to convince you with this video or anything else that you ought to be buying a house. But what I don't want to see happen to you if you're thinking about buying, or any of our potential customers, is to see stuff out there that mortgage rates are the highest since 2008 and then just say, oh, I'm not going to buy a house right now. Just time out. Let's put this whole thing on hold. I think that's a real mistake for a number of reasons, potentially. I mean, it's all about when you need to buy a house, ultimately. And actually, that's the first thing to keep in mind. When you need to buy a house, it almost doesn't matter what the mortgage rate is. If this is your time to be looking and making that move for yourself and your family, then that's number one priority, and you have to work with the market that we have. Second thing about that is that your rate is potentially not going to be that high anyway, because they're talking about averages in these stories, and they're not taking into account people's credit score or what additional options and programs that different lenders and banks have available. So this is why it's back to my original point. It's so important that you talk to a great, honest mortgage person, because they are going to have the options and they're going to tell you the facts instead of just the kind of the average of things. What's actually going to work for you in your situation. And then if you're renting too, just remember that rent is 100% interest. So it's not really helping you to worry if rates are a little higher than they were a month or two ago. It's small potatoes compared to what you're actually paying in rent, and what that's doing for you versus getting into home ownership right now. And remember too that you can always refinance a mortgage down the road too. So if rates come down a lot again in the future, then you should have a chance to possibly refinance. And there's probably other things I'm not even thinking about, which is where talking to a mortgage person is the right move for you. So bottom line, if you're thinking about moving, it's still a good market for buyers. In fact, I'd say it's a better market for buyers now than it's been all year. That's the irony of these news stories, is it's like compared to buying a house back in February or March, where it was so tough for buyers, but the interest rates were low, and buyers had to make crazy offers way over the asking price in many cases just to get their foot in the door. It's a better market for buyers than it's been all year. You just pay a little bit more on the mortgage, but overall buyers are still winning. So keep it in perspective when you're watching the news, and DM me, subscribe and follow us, because we've got more tips like this, and we're just looking out for our customers and anybody who wants to buy a house. I hope this helps. Catch you down the road.